Welcome to my debt snowball budget. This is planned with scripture. Side notes here. Last week I used paper to list the credit cards, which was fine. But going forward, I feel more comfortable using the Google spreadsheets. And the reason why is because I normally do my regular budget using Google Sheets. So why not continue using it this method going forward? I mean, just so much easier, less paper, less writing. And once you have the formulas and everything embedded in the cells, you can continue using this going forward for the following year. So it's so much easier, less paperwork. Usually with paper, I have to zoom in, and just makes it a little bit difficult with the screen. I think you'll be able to see it much better. And also the fonts I will increase as we analyze the spreadsheets. So welcome again. We're going to go straight to the spreadsheets. The verse. Proverbs 22:7. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. It's exactly what's been happening to me, and I'm sick of it. I'm not gonna no longer allow it. It will not rule my life, and I will pursue that was in my heart, which God has planned for me from the very beginning. Okay? This will not happen to me again, to my family again. Okay, moving on to the debt snowball tracker. We're going to go straight to the spreadsheets. I created 3, but 2 we'll use today. Other one we'll use for another video. So what I did first, I listed the credit cards based on the expiration date, meaning the promotional expiration date, because that's the way I'm going to attack these cards, because none of these cards have interest. These are from balance transfer, promotional balance transfers. So I normally don't pay interest on any of my debt. So here we're going to start with the monthly budget, August 2023. So this is for August. So what I did here, I listed the credit cards based on the promotional expiration date, the due date. Date is not here. You'll see that on the next tab, the debt snowball tracker here. And the minimum payment and the month. So this is going to be updated every month. I'm going to update that. Just got to see how am I going to do this. I will sit early in the morning. It'll take me like 2 or 3 hours, but I analyze it so much that I literally know what's going to happen prior to my next check coming in, which is, I think, great because it shows you what you're doing with your money. Time and money, I mean, dollar to dollar. And I'm going to start fresh. Okay, this is just a sample. I wanted to show you how is it going to look. And we'll go over the monthly debt snowball tracker, which shows the debt by year. And the forecast I won't do today, but I just wanted to show you later on how do I use this tab. I'm going to start with the monthly budget, August 2023. This is the monthly budget. And what we're going to do, we're just going to apply the payments. So this way it can reflect the debt snowball tracker. This way we know how much, we're paying towards each credit card. Now the thing is, we're going to do July because I started making and doing a budget to pay these things down, these debts, in July. So I already have made the $1,000 payment in the beginning of the month. So I'm going to reflect that here. And all I'm going to do, when you see pay period, that's really for minimum payments and for income 1. Income 2 will have a second column right here. But I didn't do it for July because, it's already August. I just wanted to get it done with. So what we're going to do, we're just going to apply the minimum payment because we pay the minimum payment every month. And the only difference is income 1 and income 2. So I decided to add income 1 in the pay with the pay period with the minimum payment, and income 2 I want to track it separately because it's weekly. And my husband's income, which is paying the minimum payment, that's bi-weekly. And then the first income is just once a month, which is in the beginning of the month. I know it sounds a little confusing, but we'll get used to that. So here I know that the second income was not paid towards that. At the time I was doing the whole reconciliation in the budget, so I have to reflect that. So for July, we made a payment of $16.93, right, for all the credit cards, but the bulk of it went to this credit card. Now, let's close this. We did July. I closed it up. You don't see it, but it's there. Now, I'll explain this after. Now we're going to do, remember, my husband gets paid bi-weekly, right? And my second income comes in every week. So I decided to add every week, all the weeks in the month, plus a second column to track the second income. So for the first week, now I'm going to go back here because we're already on August 18th, and I know for sure that we made the payments every week. So we're going to do that first. Now we're going to apply the minimum payments first, but it's a little tricky because not all the payments fall on the same date, right? Pay period because of the due date, right? So for instance, the 21st made the payment on the 11th, right? If I didn't make the payment on the 11th, it would have been late. You see that? Because my paycheck comes in on the 25th of August. If I would have waited, it would have been late. So that's why I paid in the 11th, $97.48. I paid the same thing here, the 20th. You see, so it's based on the due date. I analyze my budget every month prior to the paycheck, right? Prior to that bi-weekly paycheck because of the due dates. I have to make sure that they're falling in the right place because the dates change every month, of course. So normally, like for this payment here, the 9th, I normally pay it on the 25th for the following month. So it's like a couple of weeks ahead, or maybe a week or two. So I always pay it a little ahead. So this way I won't be penalized, so it doesn't creep up on me. And somehow because of the dates, they fall in different days, the paychecks, I get the paychecks on different days. So it has happened in the past where I accidentally, paid it after the due date. And of course, I requested to have the late fee refunded, and it was. However, I don't want to go through the hassle. So like for that one, I would have placed it here, but for the prior. So I'm still early. So just so you know, 9th, right? Here, I paid also the Bank of America. I paid that on the 11th. I paid, right, this also because it would have been late. This is due on the 25th. Right, so that's that. That's what I did this month. Now, of course, the other cards are going to be paid, right, on the 25th because that's due the 25th. This, like I said, is for the next following month, so that's good. Then this right here will be paid. That's for the following month, the 25th. We're still on time. And this right here is 82, which is the total for the prior month, which is fine. 26, we're still early, the 25th. And these are both due on the 1st, which is still early. Okay, so that's 508. Okay, right, so now we did the minimum payment. So if we look here, it's 781, it equals that. Okay, so as I'm plugging in the numbers, it's deducting from the balance. So it was 65, now it's 62. Okay, and also it's accounting for, remember, the July, right? So basically this is how much we've paid thus far. I haven't not included income 2 yet. So that's going to increase, decreasing the outstanding balance. Okay, so I'm gonna hide July. So now we made, so you know how it is every week I get 220, about 2 something, 228. And I apply the payment right here. So we're going to go to the first week of August. So now we did the minimum payment, right? My husband got paid bi-weekly. We already applied it. Actually, I should have never applied the 25th, right? Because we're not there yet. But you saw what would happen next week, right? But we'll update this next week. I'm going to delete this, but so you can see what a great idea it is to actually do it prior, because you already have budgeted what's going to happen, right? So we're going to delete that because it has not happened. Now we're going to go back to August 4th because I know that income 1 came in and income 2, the first payment for income 2 came in. So that's here. So income 1, right? So income 1, okay, that's income 1. Then you have income 1 and income 2. Okay, right? So right there. So that's income 1 and income 2. Okay, so never mind this. You'll see what this is actually tracking what's happening in the debt snowball tracker. So it's actually a check. It's to check your balance. This is a check. It's kind of like a checklist, making sure that there's no errors, there's not something out of balance. Next income, period 2. So we're done with income 1. I only get that once a month in the beginning of the month. Now we're going to income 2, which is 228, right? And then I'm going to close this, and then we're going to do income 2, 228. So let's see. Okay, I know what happened here. The reason, and this is great, the reason why there's an out of balance is because it's saying it overpaid. So already satisfied the debt, right? So if I go back here and I open this up, right? So if I open this up and the payments, this is what I made. The payments, I made these payments as of July 24, 26. So if you look here, 26,678 right here, and the credit card balance is 2578. So the difference between the two, as you can see, is $100, right? So in this case, I overpaid. Well, I really didn't overpay. I just am tracking it in my budget sheet as if I paid more, but I did not. Because since I already budgeted, I already know what happened. I just got to move the excess amount to the next credit card, right? So here I'm going to minus, so I'm going to just remove this just to show what's the difference. It said 356, but it actually should be, see, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Right, so let's see, it said minus 100, so it's 0. There you go, 128. So what I'm going to do, because we're still in August 18, right, August 18th, I'm going to apply it to the next credit card that falls right under the snowball. And you will see that when I go to the debt snowball tracker, but because I know that's what I did, that's where it's going to go. So the 100 I'm going to put there. Okay, so here is saying there's a difference of the same amount. That's because this has not been reflected in the debt snowball tracker, which I wanted to do with you manually. And the same thing here. Okay, so I believe, and here there's a difference because we haven't applied the August 25th, so there's still an out of balance. So again, you know, I hope this is not confusing. It will make sense once everything falls in. These are just my checklist. My check, it's like a checklist. Check balance, that's all. Doesn't mean anything. These are the balances. This was what's outstanding as of August 18th. And we made payments here, August 18th. That's what's outstanding. This, which is correct, 1,000. And we're missing July. So I'm just going to move this down So if I do a check from the 2, it's 508. Let's see if it's true. Is actually the minimum payments for August 25th, which have not yet been made. Right. So these are the payments thus far. We are down 61.47. We've made a payment of 3,650. But at the end of August 25th, August 31st, we would have made 4,158, which will bring this down much, much more by 500, right? Which is great. That's a great progress. Okay, so now we're going to go to the debt snowball tracker for 2023. And it's small right now, but I'm going to fix that. Okay. Just wanted to show you here what I did. This is broken down by payment order, meaning how the payments that are going to be made based on the promotional expiration date, right? So there's no interest in these cards. There's no interest. We're going by the promotional expiration date. So the first one is, and let me make this large. So we have it by year. 2023, this is how much we are going to pay. 2024, this is how much you're going to pay. And 2025, this is how much you're going to pay. And the debt is 65,137, and we'll go into that. But let me just make this a little bigger because we're going to go blind in here. So again, this is the monthly debt snowball tracker. So this is how I track those payments, right, in here, and how are they going to now reflect in paying down this debt, right? So as of July 14th, right, you can say July 14th because that's when I started actually tracking the debt to pay it off. So what I did was I said, okay, we have July, August, September, October, November, December. We have 6 months to attack this debt. How much do we have? So what I did was I broke it down. So I said, okay, never mind this, right? So I said, okay, in July, we're going by based on the payments that we've made thus far. Remember, I started in July, okay? So that's what you're seeing here. So we have July 9/12 plus the 41 that's in here, minimum payment that I'm not showing here. I'm just trying to break it down by category. So income number 2, the first payment in July since I started tracking this was 9/12, right? And the minimum payment, but first we're doing this. So in total, it comes out to 10,928 that I would have from my second income, right? From the 2 incomes, the second my additional income, right? I will have 10,928, and that's how much I would have to pay off this debt. As you can see, is not enough because for December, just for December, I allocated 12,076. However, I need to add in also the income that I am going to use, which is a minimum payments to pay this off. So in total, when I total everything out, it comes out to 1,564 for the half of the year, right? From July to December, which is great. So we need to allocate that. Okay, so we need to, okay, of course, the reason why I grouped all this because we don't have anything as of January through June. So we started in July. So you can do this many different ways. I just want to talk about this really quickly. The promotional expirational date, I put them in order, right? You see here, I'll explain this a little because I know there's a discrepancy here. Then you have 5, 7, 9, 9. You see they're very close to each other. That's deadly. That equals 22. And here you got 7, 24, 25. Right here, 30. Right? So this definitely will be gone by December. Praise the living God. Praise the Lord. This is already paid, right? Because we saw that in this spreadsheet. Now we have to reflect it here. because I want to keep this for just for me to see how deep and scary things can get if I'm not careful how I manage my money, right? God calls us to be good stewards of our money. So here is July. So what happened here is that I said, okay, for the month of August, including July, I would have 28, right? 28, and the addition is going over. I will have 28 in income, so I can actually take that and pay off this debt. So I say, why not do that? This way I start, decreasing my debt and seeing things come off, because it feels great and seeing that you're actually accomplishing things, right? And then I'll attack the next one, which is due in December. And then I'll do the one for May in 2024 because I have sufficient time for that. So that's what I decided to do, and I'm glad I did. So I'm going to link the income from this spreadsheet, or I can do it, from, just memory, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to go to July, right? And I know in July I did 553, right? So I can separate them. You know what? Let me separate them. So it's 41 and 912, right? That's for the second income. And if you do, it's the same, 953. Just so I can show you how this comes into play. You see how this was 0 and now it's filling in the payments because it has a formula. So by formula. So here, right? So we're done with that. Now we're going to go to August, right? So it's taking all August, where over there I was doing it bi-weekly. I was doing it weekly. So here I'm just going to lump it up. So here is, you have your minimum payment, and the first income, which is in here. So hold on a second. I have to open these things up. And I think I'm going to do a total to subtotal the columns this way I don't have to go in and out, so I just make it easier. Just could add one column here. So here we're going to go and we're going to, there's no minimum payment, but I know there's right, so it's this one plus that one. Oops, that one. So it's 128. So we're done with, that's it, we're done. So if I go here, open 922 and then 1128, right? Actually, we did do a minimum payment. So let's go back. I just remembered. 41, if I go here, it's right here. See that? August 11th, we're on the 18th. That's why. So, and there's an additional, so you have August 4th, August 11th, August 18th, which was Friday, right? And that we have to account in here. And remember, we made a partial payment. It was right here, right? So I'm missing one payment, which is August 4th. If I go back, you have the 4th, the 11th, and the 18th. So I'm missing this one here. I'm missing that one. Okay, yep. So, okay, right? So, and that's that. So if I go here, 0. So what is it saying? It's taking the payments that were made in this here, and I'm going to put formulas here for everything. So going forward for next year, I don't have to touch any formula, but I just wanted to walk you through it so you can see, right? So, so you have that, and that's why. So it's taking the expenses minus the, well, not the expenses, sorry, the payments minus the debt equals 0. Okay, so when you come back here, this should also be 0. There you go. So you know that you've applied it correctly in the debt tracker, and then your balance is 0. So right here is 61.47, and you still got to apply the other balances right here. So it's going to be off as much because we haven't applied the July expense minimum payments and the August. So we have to do that now. Now here, it's very simple. We're going to do the same like we did last time. We're going to add just the minimum payments, right? And then we'll talk about how we're breaking this down. Let's just do this quickly because we know we did July, right? And again, this will already be populated in the, I should actually take it from the tracker, but because I don't want to go back and forth, I'll just do it here. But I'm thinking of having this available for those who are interested in using this method, this process that I'm doing. And all the formulas will already be in there. All you have to do is just plug your numbers here. And everything else will be just extracted from that sheet. Okay, so there's no additional income that went here. We know that for sure. So we're going to, right? So same thing. We're going to do the minimum payment. All right, the minimum payment. So I'm just going to copy, paste, and paste here. Oh. All right, there you go. Now, there's no additional income. However, there was one here, remember, because we went on, because all we needed was $128. Let me take you back. Right here, all we needed was $128 to clear up. Let me just lower this a little bit so you can see. All we needed was $128 to clear the credit card out. And the rest, which is $228, the rest goes to the next credit card, right? The next one that we're paying out, which is this one here. So let me pick this up. Right, so I'm going to add 100 here. And let's see, 43.56. Let's see, that's what's on the other side. This $97. So let's see why. Oh, that's because we haven't made a payment yet. There you go. You see that? We haven't made the payment for August. So I'm not gonna, so that is a correct out of balance, right? That payment needs to be made. Here, August, the same thing here. So August, right? 453. It's just, I mean, not for, oh, I added it here and that was not correct. You see, so that's the problem. That's why it was out of balance, because I added it here and the payment has not been made yet, right? Because it's going to be made on the 25th. So that's wrong to be there. The next one that shouldn't be there is this 50 either. Remember, $508 should not be paid now, right? Because we're still waiting for August 25th to come by. I need 261, so right here. So there's an issue, 7961.82. This should not be here. July, and that's fine, it should be there. Yeah, because we're tracking all the payments. Wait a minute. So this should not be there. This should not be there, not be there, not be there, not be there. Okay. So let's see, 41, 3. Right, 273. Okay, so let's just see now. So here we made the payment for $781 for July, $1693 right here. Remember, the payment, the minimum payment is $781. We know that for sure. And then $912 for the second income. So when you add that together, it's $1683. So that's exactly what we have here in July. Now for August, we have the minimum payment, the $1,000 that happened in the beginning of the month, and the income less 1 week, $228, because 25th has not happened yet. But let's just see, this is $26.53, so it should be less $228. All right, so if we come here, And that's what it is, 1958. And let's see if that's true. So if I take, right, so if I take this plus, let's do that, sorry about that. So if I take that plus this minus this equals 736. So let's see. So we know that 508 is part of that, plus the 228, right? So what are we saying? So we're saying that 508, which is the minimum payment that's due in August, plus another payment of, or not another payment, but yeah, another payment, meaning this income number 2 is coming up in August 25th as well. So there you go, 736. You see that? I mean, I know that because I do analysis and I'm constantly, I like, you see, I said 228 because I know every week I get 228 from one income, that's income 2, and then the 1,000 comes in the beginning and the rest is biweekly from my husband, and I know that's 781. So these numbers are already embedded in my brain, and I know that 736 is the correct number. I'll leave that there for now, but let me just come here and see this number, 6148. 61,487. Let me see what's happening here. There should be a difference of 736. Okay, 746, which is the same. So meaning they both equal. Okay, so meaning right here, we're going to see 736 next week. And then it's going to lower that here as well. And then it's going to tie, when I go like this, it's going to tie to 536.86 for August. I'm sorry, not 586. It's 226.93. And right now it's less 736. Right now is reading this, 1957. 1957. See that? So September, we're going to have a payment of 2902 because we're going to have 5 weeks in September. Right? So I'm going to have additional income. 228 plus 5. So I'm going to have that additional week. We beat, so that's great. Okay, it happens again in December, right? So now you see how it's breaking it out. Now I have a formula where it tells me, and again, this is all going to be, all these formulas are going to be in there. All this information is going to come out of here. We input the numbers here, and it's going to generate our analysis for us. But what we need to do is literally sit and see how we're going to apply the payments to these credit cards, because you want to be wise on how you do that. And that's what we're going to discuss that here in the forecast tab, but that's going to be a different video because there's just a lot of analysis and kind of thinking forward a year and how we're going to do this and how, what we're going to do. It's just a lot because I'm going to have to apply for balance transfer cards going forward for 2025 because I'm not going to be able to meet the deadlines actually in 2024. But again, that's for another video. But I just want to show you how I think about these things and how I'll take advantage of the no interest credit cards. Okay, so so here then I broke down credit card 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, again, I'm not going to be able to meet these two here. Maybe not, I'm not sure. I have to do another video. I just wanted to show you what's going to happen for this year. All we're going to do is apply the minimum payments for these two categories for the 2024 cards that are due in 2024 and the cards that are due in 2025. That's what we're going to do now. On the next video, again, I will show you how I project on paying these credit cards down. So here we started with, so this is just telling you how much is the balance due for December, right? 12. It's right here, 23. So then it breaks it down by, okay, how much are we paying down, right, for the whole year? And it's telling you here, it breaks it down for you. Okay, so we have 9,000 left for 2023 to meet this year. So if we go here, that's what it is. Okay, so we know we have the income because it's all here, right? Gotta wait for it to happen. See, 921. Okay, now Then, so that's that. And that's just giving you a check so you can see how much you paid and things like that. I'll leave that there just for our purposes. August, so then we'll do September, October, November, December. So it's just showing you the payments. Now, here is like a recap, right? So as of July 31st, 2023, we had this balance, right? Actually, this should be as of the 14th, okay? As of the 14th, 2023, 65,137. We made thus far, 3650. Let's see if that's true. Thus far. Okay. Thus far. Less 736. There you go. 3650. See that? That's what I did. So let me just highlight this so you can see this. So this is what we did. We took all the payments for July and August, less the 508 for next week and the 228 for the second income, which is 736, equals 3650. Right? There you go, 3650. You see, so you know you're on the right track. Leaving you with 647, which we go here. 647, we go to the next tab. 647, go back. Right? So, wow, that's great progress. Think about it. We started with 65. We're on 61 so quickly. You see? So here, year to date, right? So this is as of August 18th. This is year to date. Meaning is taking all the payments that we're going to do in 2023 projected, right? Because this is a projection right here. This is a projection just of 2023 payments right here. 2023, right? I should put here payments, right? This is payments year to date. So it says that it's 1564 with the minimum payment, right? So what I did was at 65 minus 15 equals 49. Unbelievable what 6 months can do. Okay? 49, 15, 23. And again, we're going to break these numbers down. I'll do a separate video because this video is already too long. How I'm projecting to pay this off. Okay? So let's end with a verse. Proverbs 16:26. The laborer's appetite works for him. His hunger drives him on. Proverbs 16:26. Those who labor, right, their appetite leads them, right, to work, right, to seek better, to seek more. So yes, this was a very, kind of, it's a lot of steps that needed to take. And, I had to, link formulas and, tabs and this. But you know what? It's worth it because if you do the hard work now, later on, things get easier. By next, hopefully August, when I see you again in August, the 25th or the 26th, whenever I do the next video for the next payment, I would have, things will look smoother, right? Because now you understand how I do it. Now you're understanding how my spreadsheets work. And it should be easier because once you have the formulas, it's just smooth sailing. It's just a matter of applying the payments, right? Of being a true analytical person and seeing, okay, how can I use this money and use it to my best advantage, right? So you work hard now, right? The laborer's appetite works for him, okay? So you want to desire to do better. You want the Lord to help you and see things with his eyes, right? His perspective. And no longer ours, but we have to change our habits. And sometimes it's difficult mentally and physically to do that. But when you want something, you have to seek it because it's not going to come to you. And I want freedom. I want financial freedom. And I am going to get it. And as I see projecting here, this is unbelievable, this number. These two numbers are unbelievable. Okay, unbelievable. But yet, look, if you work hard, and yet many, I've gotten comments where, okay, I've had little debt, but I also had a huge mountain to pay off. And those people did it. Okay, so it doesn't take much. It's dedication and seeking better, and you'll get there. His hunger drives him on. And I'm hungry to be free. I want to be free, financially free, so I can get those things that I desire, that my family desires. Okay. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy. I hope you learned something. And again, please subscribe, share this video, like the video, and if there's any way that you've done it and you can help me, I welcome comments. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Okay, thank you. Bye.